Today we are finally on the way from Chiang Mai to Wadi to buy tea leaves to start making tea today. And also, by the way, we found very beautiful location in a Japanese style. It's a Japanese cafe. Also local owners of this place also manufacture dates, have some small cafe and some guest houses all around. Very scenic, very beautiful, very unusual also for Thailand, but it's really organically fits this place. After we passed our cafe in Japanese style, we just found a great area which is fully organized in Japanese design and also a lot of buildings in Japanese style. Very beautiful tourist attraction, really recommended. Finally, we arrived at the factory in Wadi. Now we want to buy some fresh leaves. It's very first harvest this year. Today is the 21st of February, so it's very early harvesting. And we will do here tomorrow our fresh Sheng puer. And now we'll go to the plantation, look how tea harvested. So just nearby road we found the first tea tree. I think it's around at least 300, maybe older, 300 years old, because it's really big. And you see here we cut it a little bit different way for easier harvesting. But yeah, finally I can taste very fresh bud from this tree. here we can see pickers who, especially by our order, harvesting fresh tea leaves from the tree. Very first harvest, as I already said, it's the first harvesting this year. Today, the end of February, 21st. And we will have some gushu cha, how we call it in Chinese, tea from ancient tea trees. After picking, the ladies bring tea here, and actually this is our pile of fresh leaves. It's only gushu, only tea harvested from old ancient tea trees. Here, for example, just for compare, regular tea, just a big leaf, and it's like not so accurate harvested, and harvested mostly from regular bushes. But here is a gushu, so you can easily see the difference. If you look closely, you see how appearing the leaf from the ancient trees, and how looks like the leaf for cheap tea. So there's a lot of big leaves, old leaves actually, and this tea use it for cheaper black tea production. Just ask the manager of factory that these leaves, which is just harvested very big leaves, which were rough, it's for the special powder which use it in culinary, like matcha, something similar to matcha. So this is why it's so big leaves used, and you see completely difference what our material looks like and how this material looks like. Same factory, now they're manufacturing tea cakes, tea beans, and it's a water special steaming machine working on wood, and we can see it work on wood. So here is the fresh Moychay, Sheng puer, you can see, and after that the worker, she first weighed the tea. Usually it was 357 grams. After that, it's steamed here. And after that, other worker put it in a special fabric bag. And after that, it's going to pressing machine. And finally, after it's dry out, removing the fabric, and here final drying just on regular temperature without any special dryer. Just wait for a couple of times to dry. And after that, all the cakes wrapped by the packaging to tons, first to just regular cake, and it's ready to go. It's very easy. This machine was made in 1961. So it's almost like 60 years, more than 60 years old. Actually, they didn't use it, but it stays here as a museum. Maybe we will buy it for our tea factory in Thailand. We arrived next factory. Here we have a beautiful showroom with some Chinese pottery. They do Sheng puer, and then they have a lot of photos with King of Thailand and also Princess of Thailand with Oolong tea. And here they also advertise it, and because Princess was on this factory. So we're preparing some special aged Sheng puer. Let us try. We will try a little. Really looks like China here because also a lot of ethnical Chinese lives here, and we actually started all these tea business and tea plantations here in northern Thailand. 这样子. You allow you how? We asked our new friends to brew some aged tea. Well, actually we have only 1 or 2 bags of old oolong tea, and I want to try it. Finally, a lady, I think it's the daughter of owner of the factory, she just gave us to try a few teas. One is like 1980, she said, but I believe it's maybe younger. It's not very good. I don't like it so much, but I like this one. This is aged oolong. She said it's around 20 years old, maybe, but still it's very interesting. And hey, she only have 1 pack. I will buy it for try, maybe to brew for my friends. And also we buy some black tea what she brewed. It's a Sheng, which is dried under the sun black tea, which have a little bit fruity notes in taste, because near the tea trees there are some fruit trees also grow. I believe it's mango trees. So it's very interesting taste, and we will try it again, and also maybe later cooperate to ask their make for us.
很好喝。
对，我正在我买了一些你的那个老茶，然后那个红茶。Right now, the father of a lady arrived here, and he do sell coffee. I asked, why you do coffee? You're actually doing some tea. But he said, not. I'm doing coffee, but my daughter do tea. Yeah, and he speak perfectly Chinese, which I really like, because I really miss China, and we have had a small conversation about tea, how it's really healthy, how tea is good for health, and he jiaoji to do something. He's carry how to say jiaoji? How it's in English? Jiaoji, it's jiaoji. I forgot. Jiaoji means he need to hurry to make something, so he passed away. Here is our fresh leaves, which we bring to a factory in my salon. And we want to start making Gaba from old ancient tea trees from Wadi village to make it in my salon. Finally, we arrived at the factory. Soon it will be dark, evening. Yeah, and we bring some leaves, for processing. Right now, the worker of tea factory preparing our leaves for dithering. It's the first step. It will stay like that till tomorrow, and tomorrow evening we'll get back here we will prepare processing, next step of Gaba processing, fermentation. So we will arrive again to have a look how it's going on. And for now, tea leaves will wait till tomorrow on these bamboo sheets. This process actually look very simple, but it's very important to put it not too big layer, not too thin layer. It needs to be pretty accurately. You can see here, for example, not too much leaves. They must be separated. And in some woolen processing technologies, especially for London woolens, they often do handwork during the night. Didn't just let them stay, they just make it more delicate fermentation. And also cover these, I heard some movies about that, so it's each factory have its own techniques and specialities in processing. And here's our parcels. It's a winter Gaba tea, which we made during December. It's still we store it here, and soon will be sent to our main warehouse in Moscow. This morning we are traveling to one very special place. Their ancient tea tree grows in the jungles. So we will have a travel from Doi Wadi to Doi Chang. It's the place between these two famous mountains. Actually, Doi Chang in English will be Elephant Mountain. So this is a place really close to Elephant Mountain. There we will trek in the jungles to the very old ancient tea trees. We arrived to the mountain, very beautiful location. It's around 1,200 meters above sea level here, and very beautiful misty area. It really looks like Yunnan province, because the same here we see a lot of national minorities, all wearing traditional clothes. The house is really similar to Yunnan, and anyone here grows coffee. So we just now stay in the place, they're just drying coffee beans. And yeah, not tea, which is the only one difference between Yunnan and this northern part of Thailand. Yeah, but it's still here we can find ancient tea trees, and we wait for local people who bring us there. And now we are in national park in jungles, and we have two local people who help us to find out the ancient tea trees. The atmosphere is absolutely incredible. It's a misty area, a lot of aroma from small flowers because soon is springtime, so absolutely incredible. You just want to stay here, and it's completely remind me Yunnan province, so I just want to stay here and live in all this wet air because of mist. It's magic. So we arrived to the first ancient tea tree. It's downstairs over there, and you see the more older one is fall down, and it's a lot of them put some red fabric for remembrance of this old tree. The termites eat it, and the one which is still alive also have problem in downstairs near the roots. A lot of cement local people put it to help to protect the tree from the termites, and also some sticks to keep it on. It's all in Thai. It's written that it's Camellia sinensis, with a small mistake, Camellia instead of Camellia. Varia Asamico, Assam tea. And there is I just Google translated the sign. Of course, it says that it's Assam tea have a large variety. It grows in a shady tropical forest. It's also it can be found Thailand mountains. But what I like, the half of this text contains the information about how it's helpful to body and how it's good for health. For example, here written that help nourish the body, make it healthy, help to relieve thirst, moisten the throat, refreshes, helps digestion, cures heat in the body, reduces fat, flushes toxins from the body, helps the excretory system better, stimulates the nervous system and circulatory system, dilate blood vessels, prevent congestive heat diseases, treat myocardial ischemia, chest pain, treat colds and headaches. So yeah, you know that. Wow! And actually, this is a piece of tree what fall down. No one need it actually because it's just still be like nothing. And this is how termites eat the ancient tea trees. We can see here. It's really a problem. Here we see a fallen, more than 1,000 years old tree. From my experience, I think it's at least 1,500 years old it was. But here we have one which is still alive. And it's really huge. When you go closer, it's like that in the diameter. I think it's also at least more than 1,000, maybe even 1,000, few hundred years old. Tree, of course, still alive, but the problem that it's not healthy, and we see that a lot of small sticks already don't have leaves because the termites eat it, and guardians of the park, they put cement here to protect the tree, and they hope it will stay longer. Also, they put this to protect, and no one harvesting any tea from this tree because it's dangerous for the tree. It can fall down or whatever, and also it's only one survived in this small area, but also we'll have something forward. As I said, one of the old ancient trees fallen down, but here we can see a small tea bush, which is just go from the same root system of this fallen tree, small tea tree, and we see small purple buds just starting a little bit later, around a couple of maybe 2-3 weeks, that already can be harvested. We arrived to the second tea tree. The guys who brought us here, they say that it's younger, but I think it's pretty same, maybe more than 1,000 at least. And it feels much better. Even we see some elephant leg signs here. Yeah, so this small path was used by locals, and they often ride in elephants here, but not now, of course. And it feels better, and I think even possible to pick up some leaves from it, but not now. And we need some special permission because it's a national park. So these tea trees is not planted by humans. It's originally wild trees. And you see also a lot of smaller trees like over here, and much more far away from this small path, because actually this path was not made specially for looking for tea trees. It's a small villager's path for harvesting some jungle goods, maybe for hunting, before it was a national park. But yeah, so if you go in the jungles to any side, you will find more of ancient tea trees. So we finish our small walk inside the jungles, just a couple of hours, and we're here. And yeah, I would just want to say again, it's an incredible place, and we have something for the next time. There are more trees inside the jungles, but we need to go deep in the jungles without a road with machete, so maybe we'll save it for the next time. And here you can see a lot of small tea bushes like this. And here before was a bigger one, but it's also dead. But you see that more and more tea grow, and I think from this you can even harvest something. Actually, the taste absolutely similar to gushu ziya in Yunnan. So we just trying to train local farmers to drink only tea, no coffee. But they have already great tea, which is actually white tea from old trees from local place, and it's really very tasty. It's made really correct, and we just respect this quality. And I hope later on they will grow more tea, less coffee, and old trees forever. Finally, we arrived to the factory, and here we see the guys prepared for us good tea leaves from ancient tea trees for our Sheng puer. And here you see already sun-dried material for very cheap tea. So we just seen it yesterday when it was here. Very big leaves, some stick. Regularly after that they make a tea dust and use it for manufacturing of some beverages. One of the most difficult challenges is to explain to farmers how to harvest and what material to prepare, and we check the quality of harvesting. Here we see that it's almost all, most of flesh is 1 bud and 2 leaves, so it's harvested very properly, and it's all from ancient tea trees. So great material, we will make Sheng puer from it. Finally, our tea is ready for rolling, and after that it will be fried. So we will look for a process, maybe even participate it. And here is the woks, so it's 4 of them, all heated by wood, natural wood. So we'll now see how they prepare it. And it's pretty professionally made, the same as in Yunnan province, for example. So let's have a look how we fire it. So here we are firing 2 woks. It's enough 2, but we have 4, but it's enough 2 for today because not so much material, only 50 kilos of fresh leaves prepared for our bunch. Work at a factory right now using bamboo actually. Yeah, he used bamboo, and he used just old tea trees to fire it. Now processing is started very soon, and it's very traditional. First put the leaves on these bamboo trays, 6 kilo for each bamboo tray. After that frying on wok, and after that rolling, and after that drying under the sun, and it's ready. And now 2 masters are making frying over fresh leaves. Yeah, and we can see one more is experienced, second one is still learning, as I see, but different techniques. The main thing is not to make it too dry and still not overburn it. So it's complicated process, and also there's one guy who all the time caring about the fire. Like this we do handmade rolling without the machine, just by hand. The best tea made this way, especially when you take it from Gushu. Finally, I tried to work with a wok. I didn't do that for 3 years almost because of long lockdown in China. So yeah, so I need to remember some experience. It's very important to not overburn it and still also make it a little bit fried. Now I'm trying to didn't overburn it because it's pretty hot, and soon we'll be finished. So it's almost done. Soon we will roll it by hand. I form it to some pile and put it on this bamboo tray. And here is machinery frying. What I can say about these machines, it's often used for a lot of different types of tea, also for oolong and also for green tea and also for Sheng puer sometimes. But of course, best Sheng puer made manually on a wok. But if material leaf is a little bit cheaper, if it's not from old ancient tea trees, so you can use this kind of machine for make it more cheap. As you see, the leaf after the machine is completely different quality than after a wok. Even if your master didn't have a good gunfu, still you can control the leaf quality and how it's going. Here it's over dried and also a little bit over fried, but not too much, but still. Of course, after rolling it will be much better. They try to take it more juice from the leaf, and after that it will be maybe okay, but still if you use a wok, of course quality goes much better. And now with the owner of the factory, we just trying the tea. One is already was done like a few days ago. It's this year tea, and the second one is fresh leaves, which just only was fried and rolled by hand by our own. So we just try this type of tea. You can try only on the factory.
我是泰国清莱万维乡明利村李开明，我的茶厂是叫明利公司。那我们明利公司是我父亲是第一代来这里开发这个古茶树。那么以前这里的古茶树都是野生的，都是在深山里面砍出来的。那么我们这里有差不多3万多。来等于是10万多亩的那个古茶树园，是泰国最大的古茶树生产区。那么我的那个普洱茶是做了20多年，我师傅是拿浩然，是那个做宏泰餐茶叶公司的主人，我是第2代。那么今天非常欢迎在苏林的。莫斯科的五茶公司到我们明利村来，到我茶厂来，非常欢迎然
后请问一下，你
我这里做茶叶比较多，有乌龙茶、普洱茶，主要是普洱茶就是用古树茶原料来做的普洱茶为主，还有红茶、花茶我们都做那么乌龙茶是30多年开始种的，那古树茶是从我父亲呢60多年前就开发，一直做到现在。
然后你的父母是为什么？
我父亲是那个泰国叫的913师，也就国民党。那么他是到这里以后，一直是经过缅甸，从云南出来经过缅甸。缅甸被那个缅甸政府那个追到泰国边界来，那我父亲又到60多年就到这里，就发现了这个古树茶，就一直在这里生根开发这个古树茶。
你现在你云南哪里的？
我父亲是云南那个临沧有去过哈。就是那个冰岛同那个溪谷的旁边我们是一个县
因为在云南很多民族
对，我父亲是我的祖父是四川的，四川祖母就是临沧云南临沧的。
有没有什么跟中国有关系？有什么？
我们这里就有中国很多思茅、勐海。景洪、广州的人春茶都到这里买。
能不能说你是做有机茶？
啊，对对，我们这个阿萨姆古树茶本来就是有机，全部是有机的，不用施肥，不用打药，它是野生的嘛，所以你放心，我们的茶都是有机茶。
所以你种的话，你用什么这么？
我们这里肥料都很少放，一年就施一次有机肥，化肥我们都不施。啊，就是它是自然生长的，啊，就靠雨水，靠什么？啊，但是一年一次的那个有机肥是要放的啊。
非常感谢。
哪里，非常欢迎。希望你以后的茶叶市场扩大，我们也可以继续合作啊。
And we arrived back to the factory where our tea leaves ready for the next step. We put it in special camera for making Gaba fermentation. Last 3 of those and it's ready to go. Ну что, поехали. So finally now we going from the factory. You can hear how vacuum camera working now for making Gaba fermentation. It will be around 10 hours and after that it will be Yaoqing for around 5-6 hours and after that Shaqing. This is a killing of green. Also few steps, depends of is it need to be processed in different ways. After that can be several steps including fermentation, rolling and also final drying. All processing is pretty complicated and each factory have its own techniques. So exact steps and timing, it's all sometimes belongs to special knowledge and special gunfu, how we call it in Chinese, or the master.
你好，我姓廖，我是廖仲勇，我在这边泰国出生，我是属于第2代。然后我父亲是早期从中国云南那边，中国云南逃难出来的，然后来住泰国，就是跟随那个军队。早期有那个将军庄希文将军带领来，就是这边在美斯乐住了，后期就是说有台湾的政府啦什么来帮忙，就是说改良做成茶叶。然后我父亲差不多18岁，小的时候就从中国逃难出来，然后我们也在这边，现在就居留了，就是属于泰国人，啊，然后后期我父亲就是做农业，就是种茶、种水果。早期的话就是种一些阿萨姆茶、小叶种的，后期慢慢就是说有台湾来的。教学方面技术有改进，现在我差不多做茶叶有差不多20年了。那早期小时候那个17、18岁没有念书好，太顽皮了，因为山上什么也没有，整天就爬山玩水这样。后期父亲很辛苦啊，对啊，很辛苦，就跟父亲学。后期就慢慢台湾的技术又来，就这样改良做来。在美斯乐，我们的美斯乐呢，就是说全部大部分都是种茶，然后靠旅游点，然后靠外国的客人、游客这些。那现在呢，就是说走到现在，就是为了疫情就是说 客人来的少，然后大家还是在努力。
这种新的品种。
对。
那现在还有什么？
早期就是说有跟随那个上进来的时候，是早期有种阿萨姆茶，后期就是我们这边以前是边界嘛，边界，那后期现在又说边界这个早期有的这些战争，泰国的国王94皇来之后，就把一些新的农业方面来帮助，然后关于台湾也来，中国的也来介绍帮忙这些，后期就慢慢改良。现在目前我们这边就靠为主茶叶就是有甘肃的是阿萨姆，后期的乌龙茶，对，乌龙茶它有不同的品种，就是说看每一个茶做的技术都不一样，看客户喜欢哪一个国家，客人喜欢的什么茶，我们就照做什么茶去做，红茶、绿茶、乌龙茶都有做，但最主要是说为客人为主，客户喜欢什么我们就做什么，对，但目前我这边的话就是说，我自己最壮手拿手的红茶，一个是加玛茶，这两个，对，因为喝红茶喝了之后，年轻人喜欢喝，老年也喜欢喝，然后一个叫加玛茶。因为加玛茶一般人他都可能还不大习惯喝，但我感觉加玛茶喝了之后，会帮助人的一个记忆，人的记忆说会睡不着啊，对啊，想太多了忧郁症，喝了这个加玛茶就很舒服的。那我现在泡的就是加玛茶，等一下。
最后一个问你一个事情，你现在应该是有从中国人也来这里对吗？
是中国那边我们中国里面的亲戚还有，对，我就是说我母亲的兄弟姐妹。
金麦，你说的是金麦来的？
不是，他们是在那个云南这边，在云南。我父母亲他们也不想回去了。因为说你说回去中国，你去住哪里？中国人他也没有认同你，对，所以说我们住在泰国，泰国是最好的。怎么好呢？自由，什么都有。而且泰国政府它能让我们有这个土地来住，关系很好，对。就是虽然是住在山区就像也是像城市一样，像什么都有。而且我们的优先是说。有这个好空气，大自然，然后有这个我们的日常生活的工作就是做茶叶。
We arrived at a small manufacturing place. There are local Chinese people manufacturing tea machinery, which is for rolling, for frying, a lot of other drying. Some machines will be delivered from China, like rollers, because it's easy to make. But some machines we make here, so it will be Thailand tea will be made on Thailand equipment. And here is the two drying machines. Which regularly work on gas or even on diesel sometimes, but here we order equipment for our tea factory, but not this for beginning.
เราตั้งโรงงานตั้งแต่เมื่อไหร่มาทำไมถึงมาตั้งที่นี่แล้วก็อย่างนี้ค่ะพูดคร่าวๆเรื่องที่มาที่เรามาอยู่
เมื่อก่อนเราก็อยู่ที่เมืองนอยอยู่ที่เมืองนอยอยู่ก็เพราะว่าฝั่งนู้นซื้อขวานทางอะไรก็ไม่สรุปก็เลยสุดท้ายม10 กว่าปีแล้วก็ย้ายลงมาอยู่ที่นี่ครับผม
แต่ก่อนอยู่ เส้นพญาพายครับแล้วก็การทำเครื่องจักรนี่ซื้อของไม่สะดวกก็เลยยังไม่สะดวกก็เลยย้ายลงมาอยู่ประมาณ10 กว่าปีครับ
ก่อนหน้านั้นก่อนหน้าที่จะ
ครับก็ทำเกี่ยวกับครับซ่อม
ย้ายมาอยู่ทางแม่สลองรุ่นลูก
รุ่นแรกเลยครับ
รุ่นแรกเนี่ยค่ะอธิบายครับ
For example, this is just the beginning of dryer. This is also the second one. Still need to work a lot on it, but already build the main parts. Also in here is a frying machine, which is regular use for shaching. This will be ours. It's still needed to put electronic equipment on it and some additional works, but mostly it's almost done. This is pretty interesting machine. This is for frying on wood fire, and mostly these machines are built for some remote areas. There is no electricity, or electricity is very expensive. Some technological processes depends on type of tea. Also can be made on wood, for example, like making tea on wok, but here we see that it's I think it's for black tea or for maybe final drying of oolongs or even green tea possible. It depends on the tea what you want to make. I think most of tea frying process, shaching process is possible to do on this machine. We arrived at one friend of Leonid. It's a local shop owner who sells some tea, some local tea, some puer, some also pottery, porcelain, mostly like common stuff, but also some good tea. He have some, so we just to drink a little bit and maybe try some special tea. But now we're drinking Gaba gushu tea from ancient trees, which is actually pretty good. Finally, we arrived at a very special place. Actually, this moment was a main purpose of our visit to Thailand, and I'm staying together with my partner Leonid. Hi, Leonid.
Hi.
And here we're building, what do you think? Our own tea factory in a very, very special place, and Leonid will explain.
Yes, it's a unique and a rare place, 70 kilometers from Sheng city on the north, and it's a very small village, and traditionally they planted the tea tree about 500 years ago, and we bought a wild tea tree next to this plot, and here we are making the foundation for our tea factory. And we use local labor, local workers. Local people are happy to participate in construction and help us very much. Also, they take care about the trees and the land, trim the trees, and we are going now to see the unique wild tea trees.
Tea forest.
Tea forest.
Yes. ให้จับเอาแม่คนดีมาวางตรงตีจิลาบบนเขียงบอกพวกลาบมันเหลวแป้งอยากมีแฟนสาวน้อยน่าใสน้องมาเก็บเมียงเมียใดม่วนอกม่วนใจเมื่อใดมาหันเจ็บพายจะเต้าเมื่อมีไอ้หนุ่มผิวขาวรูปร่างห่างยาวขับรถBMมานั่งจีบน้องตึงวันทุกคำเจ้าเย็นน้องคงชอบรถBMปล่อยไอ้วัดกระเด็นเหมือนดังกีราบวัดมีก็โมไซค์เก่าๆพูดเขาว่าผมสนุกนะผมเป็นคนร่าเริงบอกเขานะบอกผมเป็นคนร่าเริงนะ
ติดเทปเรียบร้อยแล้วนะคราวนี้อธิบายเลยค่ะเป็นยังไงคะตั้งแต่เกิด40 ปีจนถึงตอนนี้มาทำอะไรนู่นนี่นั่นพูดเลย
40 ปีที่ผ่านมาก็มีเมียแล้วเนาะมีลูกแล้วแต่ก็ผิดหวังนะ อธิบายด้วยเนาะผิดหวังเพราะเมียไม่รักเมียหนีไปกับผู้ชายทิ้งลูกสาวไว้2 คนนะบ้านอยู่ข้างนอกแรกๆนะแล้วขายไปเลยเมียหนีไปนี่ร้องไห้จริงนะร้องไห้อธิบายเลยว่าร้องไห้ลูกเดียวร้องไห้จะปีหนีออกบ้านเลยขายบ้านข้างนอกแล้วหนีออกไปข้างนอกมากรักกันอย่างเงี้ยอยู่ด้วยกันได้นานพูดบอกให้เขาว่าจะอยู่ด้วยกันจนตลอดชีวิตเลยเราทิ้งกันไม่ได้แล้วคนเรามาถึงขั้นนี้ทิ้งกันไม่ได้ไปก็ไปด้วยกันแล้วลุยก็ลุยด้วยกันลุยนี่เลยเจ๊ลุยคนเดียวผมก็มีลุยลาบมันเหลวแป้งมันแรงตัวเล่มไหนเนี่ยเจ๊เนาะ
ดีค่ะเดี๋ยวเราโอนไปให้ค่ะ
So finally we arrived our tea forest. It was like completely abandoned jungles, yes?
Yes, it
and
was
it still is.
totally wild but biodiversible forest. So the tea trees grow along with the other fruit trees and big trees. Then we sort out all these trees, we put the labels and we count them. Here's a little bit less than 1,000 trees on 10 hectares. Then we trim the trees and let the new leaves and the pods grow. And now we have a very nice early tea leaves after trimming. And now we'll climb a little bit to show the very old, about 500, maybe 600 years old tree. It's on the top.
What's important to say that all this area during the cleaning, no any chemicals used.
Yes,
no
all
any
the grass
herbicides.
was get rid of the grass was by hand, no chemical, nothing.
Very tasty buds actually. Just so we can harvest it pretty soon. For cleaning this area, how much work it takes?
So we hire 5 people, full-time job from early morning till sunset. So 5 people walked about 3 months,
Wow.
even more, maybe 100 days to clean up all the land, to trim the trees, to cut all the weed and everything.
So we're going inside the jungles for our next plantation, how we can call it, actually tea forest. A lot of big trees, because it's national park, it's protected area. Here we are on our second forest actually. You can see just cut trees, because it was cut only 2-3 weeks ago, and now it looks not so nice. If you see, just sticks, but only in 1, sometimes 2-3 years it will be like that, like here, because it was cut also not so long time ago, around 3-5 years ago, and now it's a tree like that. Why people need to cut it? Because if you don't cut the tree, it will grow very high, and it's very difficult to pick up the leaves. Actually, almost impossible to pick up the leaves. Very important to form the shape of a tree like this. This is one of the perfect shapes, because you can harvest like most of the crops. Sometimes also on the top it can be cut a little bit, but it must be made also pretty delicate. Totally we have 5 pieces of land. We are staying now on one of it, and totally it's 5,000 old tea trees, from around 50 years to something like that, which will be soon like that tree, as I already shown, and it's from 100 to 300, 400, 500 years old tea trees. So we will have totally amount around 5 tons of tea from old tea trees, which can be called like dashu in China, or even gushu, which is called ancient trees in Chinese terminology. It's really amazing what I can say. We are in Pai. It's actually a very small city, even some people call it village, on the north of Thailand. And this is one of the most attractive spots for culture people and for people who want to stay in nature as close as possible. A lot of nature attractions here and very beautiful atmosphere. Some art people, painters, musicians all around here. So it's like a smaller version of Chiang Mai, and maybe even more intelligent because it's a little bit remote area. Also, we're now in the canyon. It's one of the local tourist attractions, pretty beautiful. A lot of small roads around. Of course, it's not like a great canyon, but still very beautiful and scenic place. Really recommend it. Sadly, we was in Pai only half of a day, and now we're going to Mai Hon Son. And this is a very beautiful pass with a snake road on it. And here is the elevation 1,350 kilometers above sea level. So it's a very beautiful location. And we hope to see tea locations in Mai Hon Son. We are in Ban Rak Thai village. This village is very interesting. That I think it's northern tea village in Thailand because it's located in the border with Burma, Myanmar, and here, a lot of small minorities living, and also Chinese who came here after 1949. They doing Oolong tea and also some different other types, but we want to discover more. Now we just find big plantations on the entrance to the village. And also inside the village is very beautiful, tourist attractive village. There's some small shops, some restaurants, and some beautiful photo Instagram locations, how we can call it. So it's a very remote and beautiful village to visit. We are again searching for interesting tea and found one more tea shop. It's also like kind of showroom, a small tea factory, and we want to have a look what they have. Some black tea also, so we'll try. We visited a Chinese restaurant over here, and it's interesting that there you can find a special recipe of salad. Also salad with tea leaves. It's a common if you find salad with fermented leaves, but here's with fresh tea leaves. Just one bud, 3 leaves, and this is a very hot, very chili salad with a lot of pepper, and yeah, it's tasty. So this is the main tourist street. It's pretty good for tourists as an attraction because it's beautiful buildings. Some of them made in traditional Chinese style. If you talk about tea, actually it's not a spot for good quality tea. It's mostly a spot for tourist quality tea. We would try it in a few shops. Only in one we found something very simple, but maybe useful, but it's not the thing what we actually search for. It also looks like most of local production, they are focused on tourists, and so they didn't need a good quality tea actually, so we just work on some middle class or lower class tea. If you're going to travel from Moychay not to the back to the Pai, but to make this circle closer to the border of Burma and going to southern direction, you will see a very beautiful road. This road is a lot of people written about it, especially those who travel on motorcycles, because it's really scenic area with a lot of curves and some small villages. And we for a long time searched for a place to drink some tea, and finally we found a monastery on the top of the hill. So we're now going to this place to drink tea. We are in a very special place. One Chinese guy is a great collector of antique wood and also seller, mostly wholesaler of antique wood, antique furniture, and we now in one of his warehouses, and it's really impressive because he have thousands and thousands of very beautiful objects like carved furnishing, doors, whatever, even like a whole houses. He buy it everywhere. In Southeastern Asia, mostly in Burma, Cambodia, in Thailand, of course, Malaysia, and yeah, and store it in very huge quantities. And here we are because of one of his very impressive projects. He bought in Laos more than 300 huge trees, this one, and he planted it here near his warehouses. So he bring it. From there you can count how much money it costs. Can't even imagine, because you see the size of trees is like that. Sometimes you need free for people to hug it, and it's most of the trees is alive, and it's very beautiful forest. So it's kind of his small contribution because he sell a lot of wood. It's really beautiful place to visit. finally our travel to Thailand finished, and here we are in Bangkok airport waiting for our flight, return back. And what I want to say, Thailand is absolutely incredible country. Of course, we didn't see all, we see just what we actually needed to see. We stayed on Phuket Island a little bit, and after that traveled to northern Thailand, visit tea plantations and established very important projects. First is our tea factory and the same tea jungle project, tea forest project. So we will definitely get back because we have something to do here. Please subscribe my channel, stay in touch, drink good tea. Peace.